As we approach Women's Equality Day, a new survey from WalletHub took a look at where women receive the most equal treatment in American society by ranking all 50 states. They factored in several categories, including earning gaps and political representation. Ohio ranks 41st overall. It is well below the national average in the number of women in executive positions, women-owned businesses, and women in politics. Joining us now to weigh in is the director of YSU's Women and Gender Studies program, Dr. Amanda Fehlbaum. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, so women, we have the right to vote. More and more homes are relying on dual incomes, and women, we are in the workforce. Why do you believe we are not seeing women in higher positions of power within their careers?
Well, part of it has to do with bias in the workplace, in that people feel that women make excellent followers, but not necessarily excellent leaders. Part of it has to do with the choices that women make in terms of going into lower paying fields. And even though it's like women tend to go into fields that are like education and healthcare, and because those are seen as fields that align with what women are good at, in terms of being nurturing, it's like, why should I pay you more for something that you're naturally good at, which doesn't really make sense. If we think that men are naturally logical, we still pay men for what they're doing. Whenever women go into a male-dominated field, the wages tend to go down. That's another aspect of it. So even women getting highly involved in STEM, whenever women show interest in a male-dominated field, the wages for that tend to go down. So women showed interest in veterinary medicine, and the wages for veterinary medicine have gone down significantly. So it's multifactorial.
And under the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964, it is illegal to discriminate in employment on the basis of sex and gender identity. So why in some instances do you think women are still also learning less than their male coworkers?
Well, just because that has to do with hiring, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with wages. So whenever we are comparing a male employee to a female employee, they should be getting the same wages, but we allow there to be little differences. So we say like, well, apples and oranges type of comparisons, but we also have to keep in mind that whenever we look at childcare and things like that, women are the primary child caretakers. So because they're the ones that, bear the children, they have to take time out for having those kids and then the initial weeks of the kid's life. So that also plays a role in seeing like, well, men can be employed the entire time. Women, if they have to take out 6 weeks or 8 weeks in order to have children and then recover from having children, that means that they're not seen as being as dedicated to the job as men are, which is not correct. They are typically going above and beyond at their workplaces.
Ohio also ranks pretty poorly for political representation with women in those roles. But with the repeal of Roe v. Wade this past year, states passing restrictive abortion bans or laws and other important political issues that women all are passionate about, do you think that there might be some more women entering the political scene to counteract some of that?
Yes, I do think that women do get inspired by political backlashes. And we saw that in 1992. We saw it in 2017. But in terms of them actually winning, there's a phrase like, from the pulpit to the presidency, men are better leaders, which is not true. Nevertheless, we have that societal stereotype to overcome as women, to show that we are good leaders, that we aren't going to be just controlled by our emotions, and also to have people in charge of the various parties see women and point them out and say like, hey, I think you need to go for it. I think you should run for this office, as opposed to no, you're better making phone calls or canvassing or whatever for me.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us as we look at the research here and see, what's ahead for women. Thank you for being with us.
Of course.